Are you going to introduce us again?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
If I start, then it helps get things moving for me. Welcome to One of Nine. I'm Peter. This is gorgeous Maria. Look lovely, lovely in this pattern, mummy.
Thank you, my love. I found this in a charity shop.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks a bit like a Liberty print.
I do a job for CTS, and we had a guy called Jacob Phillips. He's like Catholic, young, I would say, Catholic theologian. Moments before he came in, Piero was asking, shall I wear a tie or not? And he comes through the door, and he's got this lovely tie on. His child had picked out from a charity shop a Liberty's tie. Really lovely.
Good spot.
Gorgeous pattern.
Good spot.
Yeah, great. Imagine your child just picking out a Liberty's tie.
That's good.
It is good.
It's a good education there.
Yeah, that's right. That's a classical education, Maria, at work in a very real way. I like doing these chats with you because it just means we can chat about...
What we need to chat about because I don't have time in the day.
in the day. Just do pillow chat here in front of the camera.
Yeah, it's pillow chat.
Yeah, it's pillow chat. Yeah, chat about some things you wouldn't always want to chat about with our guests, hosts.
Yes.
And more controversial issues that I wouldn't like to put people on the spot about.
No.
So good, let's chat about the importance of small talk. I think that is... Well, a lot of the hard work is done in evangelising and creating a community and parish life and friendships and creating a community where people can come in and out and feel part of it and to be known and for people to know you. I think small talk.
Small talk.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like it's a tough skill. It's a frightening skill.
It's the gateway.
Yeah,
it's the gateway to getting deeper as well. Deeper chats. Oh, gosh, I just knew that. As soon as I said it, it's too kind of emotional
it's like
or something.
To dive deep. Oh, gosh, people that say that. Deep dive. Right. I think it's where men, more than women, are probably more terrified.
Challenged.
Yeah, more terrified of... If I go to church, I have to present myself to a lot of people who, especially if you're new to a church environment...
Like the community...
Yeah.
Might be the daunting bit.
Yeah. Going to Mass.
Not so.
Yeah, not so much, but I'm kind of lifelong hard-boiled Catholic.
But also you are like energised by being around with people.
Yeah.
You're like,
I think it's a learned skill.
Extrovert.
Yeah, extrovert.
A very simple word.
Yeah.
Words are coming back to me now. I'm coming back to life, I feel, after a little sort of hazy period.
You've got a lot on your mind, Maria. Mm-hmm. And I think, women are much more naturally adept. I think it's where the new church, the Novus Ordo church, falls down because you don't get so many guys at church. And it's one of the problems it's got.
So then you don't get to practice? Or?
Yeah, you don't get to practice.
Yeah.
You don't get men there for other men to see, men are at church.
And then stay afterwards to chat, maybe?
Yeah. It's a thing that does happen at trads fairly consistently. And I think they see...
Do you plan small talk ahead of time?
No. Do you?
No, but I just thought maybe, I don't know, because...
I suppose I might have some things to watch out.
What were your thoughts on small talk before? Did you not like it?
It was quite difficult.
Is it?
What is it? If somebody comes up to you that's slightly socially awkward, what do you do?
I don't know, I kind of never choose to be awkward anymore and just ask normal questions like... I like knowing what people have for dinner and things like that even. What sort of meals do you do? What hobbies have you got?
That is excellent small talk ideas, Maria. People ask me, how are you? I take them at the word and give an answer now. So, a bit tired, happy. Instead of just fine and stuff, I kind of treat it as...
It depends how much time you've got, because sometimes you just got to go and it's like, do you know what? Overall,
I know you say you've not always got time, but I know for a fact you have got time, especially when it comes to church. No, but if it's just purely a church, I'll make the effort to answer.
Nice.
Because guys will ask me that.
That's thoughtful.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll consider it a kind of charity to not ask back. I just weigh them up. Are they the kind of, how do you feel?
What's going on for you at the moment? What's the story?
Yeah. What's the story? Sometimes I think, ask.
And also, I think it's worth asking. I sometimes used to feel like it's silly to say, oh, how's your mum and dad? Like, because you've known them for years or you know they're not so well or whatever. But it is worth asking because you just never know. People don't necessarily say there's something going wrong or whatever in the background. Or how are you? Like, how's the week been? How are the children? I think it's worth asking.
Mm. We don't advertise it, do we?
We had a really tough week.
Our blank faces in England don't advertise, really.
Yeah.
We're not South American enough.
But then sometimes, I suppose, if you ask too many times, they just say fine. Then, yeah, fine. Just getting on.
Yeah.
Then, you know.
People just like to be
move
asked.
it along.
I think even, just move it along. You take people as they are. But I think small talk is a big, big... Especially from all you mums, Maria, have such a great time.
What is the definition of small talk, anyway? Just like the first initial questions you can kind of ask anyone, and
just
the getting in their chat.
Talk that belongs in the public domain, if you like, that a stranger you can get into with a stranger. Yeah, I think like knowing about a sport is not, some people might think it's like chav culture or kind of beneath them. I don't know, but I think it's great. All this kind of things.
Can be.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Never. But like to know about the cricket or whatever kind of.
Yep.
A more boring sport that you might be into.
That's a nice idea, finding out something in the week.
Yeah.
To present at the small talk.
Present the small talk exercise.
Preparing a small talk.
Yeah. About small talk. Yeah, I think it just does such great work for getting guys back to church and for like normalising behaviour of people that are socially awkward. The dominant small talkers can kind of, rightly or wrongly, kind of normalise behaviour like odd guys, the guys that are socially awkward, keep it within this kind of range of normal talk, okay, whatever that is, which the culture of, whatever area you're in will establish. I think that is good because
the other thing
keep it normal. Don't overbear people with oddness, and if you can help that. But sometimes some guys in the community have got to take a hit for the team and bring the kind of fruitier people in.
I suppose as well, then there is like the virtue and the vice, and if you go too far and you get too deep and you start showing too much information, you've then I sometimes feel like I've now moaned about my thing that went wrong, and I shouldn't have done that because
I should.
Well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. It's like getting the balance right, isn't it? Because you don't just want to be like, everything's fine all the time, because it's not.
It's a real skill to develop.
But at the same time, you do want to have offered that up, and the kind of, offering, and whoever you're praying for, your intentions, or just for the glory of God, just not whinging, or striking a balance.
Yeah, but I think lots of people doing small talk together in the community kind of establishes.
It is lovely. It is so lovely. I'm just so grateful for our community. I am. Like talking about bread.
Cool.
And actually, there's
Very
loads
serious.
of mums that do. It's cool when like everyone's doing similar things at the same time as well. Reading this book is in the book club, so like we can like all talk about that.
And your colours.
And then doing the colours. Oh, the colours, temperaments, colours and temperaments.
No, I think the colours is a great.
And then the other one, food, and we're doing like the whole bread, making bread. What's everyone doing? What kilner jars are you buying? Oh, you're getting like exposed shells, or, all this sort of stuff. Someone's doing a big order of 25 kilogram bags of flour, that sort of stuff.
Hot stuff, Maria.
And like, what's the latest
25.
really simple bread recipe, and the children can do, and all of that sort of stuff. It's really cool.
It's culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's real life.
So we're enjoying at the
culture.
moment making. I think we've made about 6 batches of these French baguettes, but that's just all from like the community.
Small talk. I bet what started it was small talk.
It must be.
Sharing, just the small thing you're doing in the week.
Yeah, exactly, because then you go to Mass on Sunday. Or
and anyone can join in that,
made...
The quiet mum, the more reclusive people can think, I'll give it a shot privately at home. I can be rubbish at it.
Yeah, because these ladies have been talking about this baguette for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I've just started doing it this week, and it's because I saw one of the mums doing it. I thought, okay, I can do that. Yeah. Yes, now I'll do it. Even though one of the mums really kindly did a video, because the other bread I was making has got lots of bits and bobs of ingredients, but it's probably because it's got lots of seeds and nuts and...
And then you can tell people that the best place to get walnuts at great value is...
Costco.
Because it's got a kind of
I
slight
don't know if it's
rep.
like a massively amazing deal, but...
You could say small talk is the yeast, Maria.
in the bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, like, Sunday, we're sitting around, You know, some mums are feeding the babies, rocking the babies, chatting, holding someone else's baby. It's kind of like a baby is a kind of easy, shareable, lovely,
it's
gorgeous
the carrier.
thing.
It's the carrier, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
For the vaccine of the gospel. Just throw the baby in.
There it goes.
Yeah. I think with small talk, you can kind of suss out in a very polite way what future a friendship might have, or how seriously one might want to take it. Oh, but without, you can still maintain a level of friendship. Like with guys, if it's completely inane and full of base humour, you might think, yes, there's a future here. But more serious males might think, well, it's not my kind of level of discussion, and they'll move on to something else. But it's been a very polite and respectful encounter, and no one's been offended, and so I think small talk's a great gift. But
because for like it
is terrifying at first if you're not kind of used to it, because I think modernism or modernity, or isolated, you can kind of live quite an isolated life where you don't have to do small talk. You can go to the supermarket,
It's true.
You just exist on the internet
that
or
is
something.
True. And that's probably, I suppose we take it for granted at Mass because we just sort of crack on, and there might be someone new, but there's not like loads of new people, so you just, oh, lovely dress or something.
Just anything. And some people have just got natural talent for it, but you can just learn it as well just by getting out there and putting yourself out there. And I think Christian environment is good as well because you get treated well. You know?
People have got nice manners.
Nice manners go a long way to kind of help people learn norms, which are important.
Important.
I love all that, I'm a big fan of when you've got men going to Mass, I think it protects the marriage. If it's just women going and the children and the men are at home.
Well, it protects the faith of the children.
It protects the faith of the children, protects marriage, because if guys see other guys there, okay, they're married, I'm staying married. People don't maybe say those words, but at some kind of non-verbal level, there is a normalisation that they're in it to win it, we're in it to win it. If they're doing it, I'm doing it. I'm not going to be the guy that wrecks my marriage. And kind of,
this is my family, I'm with them.
Yeah, dead right. I like that, Mariah. It's my family.
Here I am. I don't completely know what's going on. I'm not not had a conversion yet.
That's
reversion
right.
or
I love that. Yeah, because you don't even... I'm not that... Because I think a lot of guys, maybe women as well, think I'm not that religious, but if you're going to Mass with your family and your children and other guys are there and you're maybe just there out of some kind of...
obligation.
If they're going, I'm going, and I'm not going to be out obligated here. I think that's the beginnings of a religious person. You are religious, and then if they're saying prayers, well, I'm saying prayers, and if they're
the spiritual leader of the family,
that's
I'm
right.
the spiritual leader. Yeah,
damn right. That kind of thing, bit by bit, in a very organic way, you become a religious guy.
But also just that you get like that. The culture in this country, it's not from nothing. Like the family goes to church on Sunday. Just church, just that they even go to the local C.V. or something. Like that's seen as a good thing to do. That's not come from nowhere. That is a good thing to do. It's not to go to C.V., but to go to Catholic.
I suppose.
But just going. You don't have to be doing all your internal, ejaculations, I think they call them, like all those prayers and acts of faith and hope and love and all those things. I know, I've now said a word that's really going to put people off. I hope
the correct word is ejaculation.
It is.
Well, there we are.
It is.
It's hilarious that you said it.
It is a very funny word.
Where the CV is something, it's not had a pope. I suppose it's where the pope comes in. Because this CV has become a kind of stereotype of stuff, a bit bland, a bit Middle England, softly, nicely. We don't do any serious believing that will unsettle people. But a pope supposedly keeps standards high, and that you are kind of more zealous about the faith. And
there's one way.
That's one way, yeah. It's not
just like we're all deciding anyway, so we'll just keep deciding.
You do you and I'll do me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You do you, ain't going to wash all the time.
Yeah. And another thing about getting the dads at Mass, getting the mums at Mass, because then it's like the mum's going to be going more regularly. It's the whole family will go more regularly. This is like the country It's been brought up. It's been made from Christian values.
Yeah, damn right, Maria.
And people forget that. You know, you go to school.
Yeah, well, each generation that passes, we're kind of distancing ourselves.
Okay, right. You know, you saw the sisters on the ward, because they used to be the nuns, and that's from Christians. It's a whole Christian institution, hospitals, because otherwise I think people used to just be along the side of the roads and things. We're having problems. I don't know. I read it in one of our books. I think it's called Rediscover Catholicism by Matthew Kelly. So just some appreciation of that. Like it comes from something, even if you don't believe it or fully buy into it all.
It's made a strong argument in your life.
This has got morals for your kids, and this has got a strong future potential for your children. I mean, what are the other options? Just you do you and I do me.
Yeah.
When your daughter meets a guy.
Look where that's got us, Maria.
Yeah.
I think that's what a Pope kind of keeps it. I think Catholics could. But do them no harm to get back to a place where I can't remember in my lifetime where we do all this nice. We're kind of unpopular because we're anti-contraception and no sex before marriage and.
Just sounds like no.
Yeah, no. And we're kind of Catholics. They do my head in. But then on the other side, they would see that Catholics run hospitals or do great stuff for the poor or charitable.
Yeah.
They're there in society and they're a bit annoying, but gosh, they do great work. By virtue of our good works, demand some kind of respect, even if people are saying, wow, I don't like all their stuffy teachings on this and that. I think, but we've become more given way to being more popular and more appeasing. You know,
so it's like...
You don't hear the unpopular teaching so much anymore.
Relevance versus reverence. It's like wanting to be a bit more like relevant and with society and what's going on and changing with the times and all that sort of thing.
It's not worked out for it, so why are we doing it too?
Reverent, yeah. It's funny when you say why we sometimes, because I'm like, what, we? There's a few we's. Yeah, a few levels of we's there.
You do your we and I'll do my we. What's your we, man?
Well, we is like, it's us.
Yeah.
And then there's we like our parish community.
Yeah, and there's we.
And there's we as like the entire 1.4 billion Catholic Church, whatever the number is. Doing that way.
But I'm interchanging quite regularly between me and you, we.
So keep up.
Parish we. Yeah, it's hard to keep up. That's great. Small. I think we'll just leave it there on small talk.
Great.
Yeah.
We're done on small talk.